Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Steven.
Hey, thanks for joining here today for this ServiceNow conversation. Today, we're going to be talking about the platform analytics experience, which we heard a lot about during the Washington release. We've been hearing about it for a while, but now we know that there is this concept of a migration that is going to be barreling towards us sooner than we know. And so, yeah, we've been talking a lot about this internally. We've been talking with customers about this, wanted to continue to raise awareness that it's coming. I think it's in Zurich that there will be forced migration. Is that right?
That's my understanding. When you upgrade to Zurich, all of your existing content will be migrated into the platform analytics experience.
So you have some control over how that happens, right? Up until Zurich, when it will just go. Can you talk a little bit about, because you've been digging into this, like understanding
I have.
what it means, what the migration means, like really specifically how that will affect customers, what they'll need to do to get ahead of it, and how they can plan for, yeah, being ahead of the curve. So can you talk a little bit about what you've heard from customers or what their perception is? Does everybody know this is coming?
No.
No.
No, I think that's part of why I'm digging in. I feel like we have some level of responsibility to help try spreading the word that it's coming and help get people prepared. Not everybody knows. I think a lot of people know of the new platform analytics experience, don't understand the migration path that they're already on,
Hmm.
as is every other ServiceNow customer. So it's very much so something that we need to be spreading the word about.
Yep. And so you've been digging in. What we're going to help plan for that. What are some of the positive effects that you have encountered with this platform analytics experiences? Because there is like ServiceNow isn't doing this change for nothing, right? They're adding new capabilities and benefits to the system.
Without a doubt. And if you're focusing on the experience itself and not just the migration, I think like stone cold, the best thing about it is you're getting a centralized place for anything you do with your data in ServiceNow, which I think has probably been a sticking point for some time
Hmm.
for customers. Go here to create a report, go there to create a dashboard, go here to configure a PA meaning performance analytics indicator. And that's all coming under one roof, which I think is a really, really big deal.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's like the top thing. But from your seat as a UX guru, like what do you think about that piece and on its own?
Yes, that piece is very, very nice. I have used it and relative to the previous experience, right? You said it felt very disjointed and felt kind of unnatural to go and configure something way over here, knowing that you're going to consume it here. So for me, it is always really hard to bridge that gap. And now that it's centralized, it much easier to understand how you want it to look and behave for your viewers and how you want it to look and behave for yourself. So yeah, a much better kind of one-to-one relationship of what you can expect as the output.
And I also think, everybody's been working towards the new interface, and it's some are further ahead than others. Another big benefit is this is built with the next experience, and I have no inside information. There's no like safe harbor here, but I imagine once you get here, this isn't an exercise you're going to be going through in 3 years. So you'll be up to date. You'll be on the latest and greatest. You'll be able to start interacting with the other workspaces if you want to serve up reports or analytics there. So I think that is a big benefit as well. This is ServiceNow's move into that for all of their analytics and reporting, which is fantastic.
Yep, that is fantastic. So yeah, like you said, we are looking at ways of because to get to that place, there's lots of benefits. But the management, like changing that change is going to take real effort.
It is. I mean, we just talked about how there were several different ways to do things in the past. Still be able to do those things. It's just going to be in a totally different place.
Yeah.
And, I think the migration will be pretty solid at getting your stuff there, but the people portion of it, I think, is going to be a big deal that people need to be thinking about today because you might have stakeholders that you're serving reports, dashboards, indicators, scorecards, whatever it may be. And that is probably going to change how you're going to get those assets to those people so that they can get what they need. And that's only on the consumption part of it. You've got the
Right.
whole building portion too. If you have a pretty centralized reporting strategy, might not be a huge deal. But I think most people have more of a hybrid strategy where they've got a reporting team that is serving up some certified or standard reporting options, but also they're letting people go and create reports and dashboards that are very unique to them. And that's going to change. So how are
Okay.
people planning to educate this user base, which is not small, on all of these changes, let alone when they're not sure of the changes themselves?
Right. Okay. So the way you build and create is changing. The way you distribute and communicate and get viewers' eyes on these reports are changing, and analytics is changing. So this is the moment to define the reporting strategy, right? Like, what have you seen? What kind of insight do you have there after you've been digging in about how people are approaching it and what we can do to help?
Yeah, it's definitely a wide range of where people are on that reporting maturity spectrum. But regardless, it doesn't matter if you're the most mature. The silver lining of this migration event is it's a fantastic opportunity to take a look at your strategy, audit it, make sure it's actually going to plan if you have one. If you don't have one, now's the time to stand one up and put it in place and put anything you need in place to make sure that you can execute on that strategy. Because, like we just talked about, you're going to have to talk to all of these people anyways about this event. This is the perfect time to also communicate the new world of reporting in your environment. So that's really what I'm pushing customers to think about is this is a fantastic opportunity to take a look at the strategy if you have one.
Oh, yeah, lots of moving parts. So you have some ideas about how we can help in that, help define that strategy, help tactically execute that. Can you talk a little bit about that? I know you've been spending a lot of brain power there.
Yeah, I do just with the nature of what VividCharts does and how we're entirely focused on in-platform reporting. I feel some level of responsibility that we have a part to play to help the ServiceNow customer base
Mm-hmm.
through this however we can. Definitely our customer base within that ServiceNow customer base, because it's a big deal. Like it is a very big deal. So we will be helping in more and more ways. We'll be doing things like we've got a webinar coming up on June 26th at 11 Eastern, I believe. And what we'll be doing in that is just walking the attendees through the new platform analytics experience. And for some people, they may already know it's stone cold. I'm not sure, but we'll be walking through, okay, you used to do this thing this way, you do it here now, X, Y, and Z. Just give them a guide. Because we went through that exercise too. We had to learn all of these different parts, how they interact. So that is one thing we've got coming up. We've also been running reporting audits that are both tech enabled and also subject matter enabled, where we work with a customer. We do a 30-point inspection of their current ServiceNow reporting environment and strategy. Because what we're learning is the customers who are really on top of this don't even want to start thinking about the migration or the future strategy without having a solid understanding of where they are today and seeing if their current strategy is going to plan. So the reporting audit is something we're doing today with customers. We're happy to help there, and there'll be other things we do in the future. We know we are the people to lead in platform reporting strategy workshops. That's something we'll be doing. potentially will be helping with the migration itself, but I think that's a little further down the road.
Yeah, awesome.
Not
That
that far, but
not that far, but
not
I,
tomorrow, but it's coming up.
yeah. You saying that made me think about something that I've heard while interviewing people. They say like reporting and analytics is one of those problems that hides in plain sight because you might have some reports, you might have some analytics, but if there's not a strategy in place, well, said differently, we've seen firsthand that when there is a strategy in place, the success of the analytics program or kind of function can really, really be elevated. So yeah,
Without a
I am excited to see what people are learning from the audit and the awareness and or the awareness of the migration in general.
Yeah, me too. I think this should be a very positive event for every ServiceNow customer. It's just going
Yep.
to take work.
It's just going to take work. Yeah. Okay. I think that is all we have on our docket today. Thank you so much for contributing your time and also all of the work that you've been doing behind the scenes to help us and everyone else level up and get ready for this migration.
Thank you.
All right, man. See you next time.
See ya.